My name is Janeffa Perkins, and I am a health coach, and I help professional women of color struggling with chronic illness and burnout to reclaim their lives with positivity and joy. And I'm here today just to talk a little bit about my own chronic illness journey and how I have reclaim my own life with positivity and joy, and how it has really assisted me in truly recovering from burnout and being able to manage my chronic illness in a way that is in alignment with myself and helping me to craft a life that I really enjoy. So, just a little bit of how my chronic illness journey began. Um, Really, I started battling with chronic fatigue as early as my 20s. And then in my 30s, I found that I started developing chronic pain. And I shouldn't even say it developed, it showed itself in this life altering way on February 25th, 2013. Um, and it's a day I'll never forget for the rest of my life. But to back up a little, what did started manifesting itself was during the Great Recession. I had gotten fired from my job, and now I was striving to figure out my next move. And so I went back to school and got my degree and entered into occupational therapy. And I really felt good about it. I enjoyed my work, but I found that the chronic fatigue had uptick. And even while I was in school, during my last semester, I had real challenges with brain fog, fatigue, anxiety, stress. Now, these are all things that one deals with being in school anyway. But my body was giving me signs of a bigger problem. I just didn't recognize it. And so, but I managed to get through, and I started in occupational therapy. And I recognized very quickly that I was better off being a per diem therapist, where I would travel to different facilities um, and helping where I was needed, which afforded me being able to have more breaks and being able to create my own schedule and afford myself the opportunity to, when the work was up, I worked. When it was down, my body got to have some measure of breaks. And then it also allowed me to be able to do what I love, which is travel, which I will definitely discuss in a future video. But for me, the symptoms of fatigue and stress and pain on a mild level were beginning to really show itself. But the pain wasn't something that was like, I just thought I'm getting older a little and I'm always on my feet. I didn't think it was that I am developing a chronic illness. But back to that pivotal date, February 25th, 2013, I wake up in the morning. It started Sunday, that was Monday morning, started Sunday. I was in pain and I took something, went back to sleep. Monday morning, the pain literally, 0 being no pain, 10 meaning I'm ready to pass out. The pain was literally at an 8. And I'm trying to get to the bathroom and I'm struggling and I almost fall down. And I go to my doctor. He's like, there's nothing I can do for you. You need to go to the emergency room. I go to the emergency room. They run tests. I come out of there with crutches, a cane, prescription for painkillers, and a follow-up to see the orthopedist, and but there's no diagnosis. So that's February 25th, 2013. It took 3.5 years later for me to get diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and that was with my rheumatologist. And that was after me staying on top of my doctor and telling him, I'm having issues, this event happened. And after that event where I could barely walk for 4.5 months. So I wasn't working, I could barely walk, and I'm a young woman. At that point, I'm in my 30s. It's like I've literally gone from walking, running around, and in 36 hours, I went from walking to not walking and being at home, lying in my bed. Matter of fact, the first month, I could not even be at home. I had to stay with my mom because I lived in a 6th-floor walk-up. I was on the 3rd floor, and so I couldn't even stay in my apartment. And to go up those stairs that day and being able to barely walk, it was one of the scariest things I've been through in my life when it comes to my body and how it just shut down on me. It was like, oh my goodness, what is going on? What is happening to me? It was scary, and my doctors could not give me any definitive answers. And they're like, you didn't fall. What happened? And I'm like, I woke up and I couldn't walk. They were like, you didn't fall, you didn't twist it, all the questions. And I'm like, no. So it was just really interesting. And then I'm in this physically demanding job because I'm a occupational therapy clinician for the last 11 years. And I'm in this physically demanding job and I couldn't work. It was a good thing I was had still been in school. I was going for my bachelor's, master's. And so I was able to take out student loans, and that's what helped me stay afloat while I couldn't work. And so it was just really, really scary. But fast forward, even between the time of when I started my career in 2011 and now fast forward to 2016 when I'm finally diagnosed, I had gone through being in pain, being in anxiety and fear, and just wondering, oh my goodness, could this even happen to me again? And just constantly feeling like I'm not getting better and I'm in this demanding job and I have to stay on my feet. And so fast forward, right before the pandemic, I had decided that I needed to make major changes in my life or something catastrophic could happen. And it already had in a way, but I could tell the way my body was feeling that it wasn't going to get better. And I'm talking to my doctors and they are offering me different drugs that I'm not comfortable with taking. But again, that was my choice. And because if I need to stay on my feet, and the side effects of these drugs are that they're going to make my current symptoms worse, which was fatigue and a measure of brain fog, that they could make these things worse, I just did not feel comfortable in taking those medicines. And a lot of times I said, you know what? Even with the pain, a lot of times the pain somewhat calmed down when I laid down. So I took a leave when I could. And a lot of times I just made myself lay down. And hence why I continued as a per diem therapist. But in 2019, I took a health sabbatical, and I wanted to do volunteer work and do it abroad and make some changes and incorporate more rest in my life. And then the pandemic hit, which really made me have to take time and continue to work on my health and be still. And that's when I came across life coaching, and I learned two important skills. And that the first one being in helping me to reclaim my life of positivity and joy. The first one is feeling your feelings. And if you've watched my content, I talk about these two tools a lot. And the first one being feeling your feelings, allowing yourself to experience them and not letting them be a problem. And in doing that, it gives you the clarity to be able to choose your thoughts and manage your mind. And so using those two tools has really been pivotal in my being able to reclaim my life and live with positivity and joy, because now I choose what thoughts that I will accept. I understand that our minds are beautiful and they are constantly striving to protect us. And in its doing its job and striving to protect us, it will offer us thoughts that aren't always true and that aren't always thoughts that serve us. And so in my feeling my feelings and giving myself the grace and the space to really feel them and experience them helps me to, like I said, get the clarity I need to really choose my thoughts and determine for myself what thoughts I will believe or not. And so in acquiring those tools and really becoming more skillful in using them, it has really helped me to craft and be able to see my life in a more positive light despite my chronic illness, but also be able to see life and its beautiful possibilities. And so if you find yourself as a woman struggling with chronic illness, struggling with burnout, because I say chronic illness and or burnout because I also know that I'm not alone in being a professional woman who has struggled with burnout and chronic illness. I know so many of my healthcare professional women, nurses, all of us who now, with you all working in the pandemic, burnout is at an all-time high. And so if you feel you need support in dealing with that, I can help you. Please reach out to me, DM me. Go to my website at janeffaperkins.com. I'm going to have a link in the description. Let's talk. Book a discovery call with me and let's get you started on helping you to recover from burnout so that you can reclaim your life with positivity and joy. So I look forward to talking to you. Again, go to my website at janeffaperkinscoaching.com. Book your call. Let's have a consultation and let's talk. You take care and look forward to talking to you soon.